Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numeration. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numeration consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerator. That's King Simon the Numerator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be the very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numeration for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Peace, my brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum, hotep, shalom, alafia, Islam, and all that good stuff. Ira to all the Caribbean and all the people out all over the world, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. We got a special broadcast for you tonight. KSP, King Simon Presents, special broadcast. And we're going to have one of our special guests with us for the first time on this channel, the one, the only, brother student minister Henry Muhammad, the Brooklyn, New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Yes, we're going to be having him up in the next couple of minutes as we get ready to bring him on. I want to make sure all of you are doing well. Please share this broadcast because they have a brother minister have a very important message that he wants to share because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will be speaking this coming Sunday, Ishmael Muhammad will be speaking this coming Sunday. I want to make sure we are clear on that. And this is the broadcast that they're going to be doing at Muhammad Mosque number 7C in Brooklyn. So Brother Minister Henry will be with us today, and it's all happening on October the 15th. If you are in Brooklyn, New York, and you want to really come on out and enjoy the essence of Muhammad's Mosque Temple or Muhammad's Mosque 7C, you can go over there to 202 Pennsylvania Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, man. Beautiful facility. The Holy Day of Atonement Message 2023. It's Atonement and the Great War. That will be the topic, of course. And of course, the Nation of Islam celebrating 93 years of its existence right here in the world, but Islam just being original for millions and millions. They have no beginning and no end because Islam only means one who is of peace or a way of life of peace. So once you understand that, that's all we want. That's all people want in Islam is peace. That's all they want. Come on now. So we're waiting for our brother to come on. And hopefully our brother Jibril Muhammad, big up to Jibril Muhammad and his beautiful sister, his beautiful empress, for accommodating me. I know I used to work with brother Henry back in the day, and him and I used to be back in the day. Henry and I used to be, Brother Minister Henry and I used to be in the ministry class with Abdul Haq Muhammad back in the day. So I am honored. I see the brother backstage and I can't wait to bring him on. He's a beautiful brother whom I've known for the early 90s. We was in there, man. So I know I came in 89, 90 back in, and now, as an active member of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the Nation of Islam. At that time, Minister Dr. Khalid was there, then Minister Conrad, Brother Minister Conrad, then Kevin was in and out, which is Abdul Hafiz, the late great Abdul Hafiz was in and out back in the day. Then we had Minister Huck take over, Minister Nelson, everybody was doing their thing. We had a good time though. We enjoyed ourselves. But before we bring on our brother, I see him in the backstage. I gotta play something that I seen on his Facebook, and it's and before I introduce our brother. So take a step to the rear, baby. We're gonna do it just like this as we bring on. Before we start, we gotta bring on our beloved brother, the way, because he's very fiery over there at that temple. I'm telling you. So I need y'all to understand who we're about to bring in, and we're gonna bring the fire. Our brother name is brother student minister. Let's get that correct. Brother student minister Henry Muhammad. He's our guest, and he's the Brooklyn, New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let's drop it like it's hot.
I think it's necessary for us to hear that because it ain't easy trying to do this kind of work. But we was given warning about that. Why did Musa have a hard time civilizing the devil 2000 BC? Why do you think the God asked the question? He asked his student a question because he said, look, man, you're going to have a hard time. And you're the fulfillment of that Moses. And those that come with you, they're going to walk in the footsteps of what Moses had to do among their people. It ain't easy trying to get to a people that are stiff-necked, hard-hearted, rebellious, ignorant, arrogant, and proud of it. We are a hell of a people, man. You build people up, and then when they don't do it right, you say, I told you the nigga couldn't handle it. I mean, we are a hell of a people. You got to really love God and know God to serve God and God's people, because y'all will beat us down and kick us to the curb and say, Henry who?
That's right. Without any further ado, we're going to bring on my dear brother, whom I've known for many, many moons, and I'm proud of his journey, his growth. Welcome to King Simon Presents Only Quality People, right here on Facebook, Instagram, also on YouTube, and on Twitter. We're going to welcome the one, the only, my brother, your brother, our brother, minister, student minister Henry Muhammad, Brooklyn and New York representative of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad in the building, and the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan. My brother, how are you, my brother?
Assalamu alaikum, brother King Simon. I'm doing well by Allah's grace, and yourself?
I am doing wonderful, brother. How's the family?
Praise be to our families well, brother. Thank you for asking. How are you and your family, beloved?
Family's growing, man. I got 12 grandchildren and
wow, brother. I got 8. You outdid me, brother. You outdid me. You know,
big up to Sister Valda Muhammad, my former wife, and we have it from our 4 boys. They gave us 12 of these grandchildren.
Wow,
man, they're just doing it, brother. So
it's a blessing, brother.
It's a blessing, man.
Yes.
Thank you very much for such a short notice. Thank Brother Jibril Muhammad also for making that connection. I know I have your phone number somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Man, I have a new phone. I got to check through all of that.
Yes, sir.
I was happy to have Brother Arthur Muhammad a couple of weeks ago on the show. Brother Minister, Student Minister Arthur, give him a round of applause.
My brother Arthur.
Yeah, our brother, man.
He told me about that. And you remember when he used to be our lieutenant,
of course,
training us, is that right? So
yes, sir.
You know about, you ain't gonna go there right now, but yes, and
yes,
I must say, brother, on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam, and our regional laborers and our local laborers of Muhammad Mosque 7C. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on the show with you, brother. I'm thankful to Allah for you and what you're doing, and the audience that you're, reaching out to, and the work that you're doing. We need more like you, brother. We need more like you in the community, because you know what kind of work this is, and it's a battle. It's a battle, but to be able to have airwaves where we can get to our people, it gets out further and it gets to more, you know what I mean? And that's a blessing. So this right here is an honor for me. And just as you said, brother, we go back, man. It was, I came in 89 and got my ex in 1990. So we was right in that same realm and coming to not expecting to be in no ministry or anything like that. Just wanted to come and do the work, starting out from the level of the wisdom and the revolution, and so to come in at a time when we had our brother Dr. Khalid representing on behalf of Minister Farrakhan. Allah put us in the right place at the right time, because it fit our spirit, and so to come after all these years and still be in this work, now we have to go after our people, on that level, and that's a blessing. So once again, I'm thankful to be here. It's been a long journey coming off the road, but I thank the believers like Brother Jibril and Brother Salim and others who start making the connections, because our main goal is we want to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan help our people.
That's right.
However we can be used, man, we're actually being used as long as it's righteous. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, thank you, brother. Believe me, brother. You have been an honorable brother for many years, man, and we've been up and down these streets back in the day. Had to defend the mosque back in the day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In 92. So I understand what we had to deal with, and I'm just happy for all of you. I'm proud of the journey that you have, because back in the day, before we talk about the great day of Atonement, back in the day, I talked to a lot of the elders, and they said Brooklyn used to boast at least 5,000 to 10,000 members back in Brooklyn alone. Right there off of Putman Avenue over there, that building right there.
Yes, sir.
I know you are now the Brooklyn representative over there, and what is it like now that you're in that spot where Brooklyn had a lot of people as these elders. Even
Yeah, brother.
Imam
You know.
Siraj told me that too. Imam
Yeah.
Siraj, because I was married to his secretary at one time, and
Yeah.
he told me about that too. So
Yes.
what was that all about, man?
You know, brother, as you know, and I hear the history as well.
Yes, sir.
And the effect that the nation had and still has, but the effect it had at that time.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's that era that you and I were born out of. You know what I mean? Because we were little shorties in elementary school when they was doing all that work. You know what I mean? But we was feeling the residue of it, even where we were at, because everybody, whether they was in the nation or not, was Black consciousness.
That's right.
Black consciousness was ringing out from the 60s and the 70s that sprung up from the 50s, and Rosa Parks and all that. And so we are born out of that era.
That's right.
But since that time, the enemy went on full attack.
Yes.
And so now you and I are dealing from a level where technology has grown, Satan has grown, and people have fell off and so forth. So we're in a different kind of fight, but we still have Allah God on our side. We still have our history as our foundation, and we are promised to win.
That's right.
A promise to win.
It's a promise. That's right.
So the spirit is still there, and when you go into different pockets of Brooklyn, you find some of those old soldiers that's always happy to see us. But the harvest is ripe.
Yes, sir.
And the laborers are few. And that's what we're dealing with right now. And I know everybody that's on the road for the fight of this kind of cause, whether it's from a national level or religious level or international level, you feel that the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. And we just got to hold fast, man, because we're still making progress, and there's still a lot more work to do, And so we thank the Lord to still have a soldier that's at the top of the heap, who is our national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but he is our leader teaching God, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, at 90 years old, still holding on and still giving us guidance, young men for war, old men for guidance, for counsel. And the minister he may be old in age to some of us, but in his mind and his thinking, he's not like the youngster. Oh my God, outdoing us. So, we're in it, man. I always try to find out what more can I do. How much I see the minister do for us, but
yes. Well, let's get that around the applause, because a lot of us wish at 90 we could do that work, and a lot of us pray. Richard Pryor says you don't get old by being no fool. That's what Richard Pryor used to say back in the day.
Yes, sir.
And so we know that the minister ain't no fool. He's done the great work. He is divinely guided, and people got to recognize that. And all of us got to recognize the energy is within all of us, but sometimes they have to be ahead to direct us to where we got to go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all know who the original man is.
Come
you know
on,
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And the original man is the Asiatic black man,
That's right.
The older, the cream of the planet Earth.
God of the universe. Come on, man.
No doubt. Get that around of applause.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt. Over and over again, get that around of applause. You're right.
But that's what triggered me at 14 years of age to become part of the 5% first.
Yes.
And then it led me towards I went toward the Ansar, and then I went into the nation, because I had to keep this discipline.
Yes, sir.
I understood those lessons, and I still got them all.
And when I thought about you earlier, I said it was Tyrone 4X.
Yes, sir.
And I was Brother Henry 4X. I ain't forget, bro.
We
you know what I'm saying? So
man.
And so at 4 is foundation and preparation. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
So to have those roots, which is really rooted, as you said, in the knowledge of self.
That's right.
That's a key part.
Yes.
Very key. And that's why I think Allah has blessed us to still be holding on as we are, brother. Because that foundation.
Still looking young and taking.
Come on, brother. Come on, man.
How to eat and live, everything is here.
Yeah, brother. Look, man. As people will say, they'll look at my older children and be like, oh man, we getting old. I said, no, they getting old.
They getting old.
They getting old. Don't start talking about that we stuff. No, sir. No, sir.
And Brother Minister Henry, that is why I designed this flyer from my childhood to now. And you can look at the dimension of what I changed and all of that. And I still, at that black and white picture all the way at the end, that is me now.
Yes,
so I know the youthfulness, the whole energy of how to eat to live was so imperative. Even Dr. Sabi said the messenger was the one who gave him that guy.
He did say that. Yes,
Even he said it. You know what I'm saying?
sir.
So I understood, and Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Africa helped me. Of course, the messenger helped me. Queen of
Yes,
Four,
sir.
everybody
Mm-hmm.
contribute to me,
Right.
and staying on. But it was the messengers teachers of how to
Yes.
live that was very important
Mm-hmm.
for
And
us
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
with all the knowledge that we have access to, it's just a matter of what we do with it.
Exactly.
You're only going to get out of it what you put in.
That is
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
right.
Because, because
truth.
you know, as the Quran says, a donkey carrying books can get to the top of the hill, but it'll still be a jackass. So we can have all that knowledge. If we ain't doing the right thing with it, brother, we just gonna be looking like somebody that sound good, but we ain't doing good. So I'm thankful to Allah that you've been holding on to the knowledge and following it, brother.
Yeah, look at around the ball. I like that one. Carrying
Yes,
the book, still be a jackass.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
It's the truth. Now, the important part, because I'm not going to keep it, people that are just tuning in, please share, like, subscribe, because sharing is caring. Remember, sharing is caring. That's what I'm saying on the bottom of this. And remember, we have our brother student minister, Henry Muhammad, in the building. Our guest, the Brooklyn, New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm so proud of this brother. I've known him for so many years. We go back to 89. I'm telling you, writing those letters and taking it in and coming in and being soldiers inside that temple. Now, it's a special day coming up again. The Day of Atonement is a very important part of the fact that this is what's coming on, and I had to redesign this flyer so people could see what we're doing, because we're coming to 7C for the live webcast.
Yes,
although they can sit at home, but they should be right there in the midst over there.
You want to be with the family, brother. Yes, sir.
Pennsylvania Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. 7C is back on the map.
Yes, sir.
Know that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so proud, because although I don't live there anymore, I live in Georgia. Go
ahead.
Yeah,
all right.
I did make my moves.
Yes, sir.
Where my grandchildren, everybody's, so I had to make that move to get closer. Although my mother's still there in Brooklyn and everything, and my father's in Florida. When Brother Jabril said, can I interview? I said, what are you talking about? When he wants to do it, let's make it happen. Let's do it. And he said, today we just bounced it ourselves. Now I was going to say Saturday, but it's right. It's too short. Let's make it happen, because this broadcast can be run and so people can pay attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going to happen now? Tell the people, because our dear brother Ishmael, student minister Ishmael, is going to be presenting this, deliver the message. So is the minister going to try to pop up, or you don't know? You don't know.
I don't know. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan moves off of the inspiration of God. So I can't even call that one. You know what I mean? What I do expect,
yes, sir,
is that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, by Allah's grace, will be speaking through Brother Ishmael that day.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Brother Ishmael is right now fasting, praying, preparing.
Yes.
I know that the minister has given him some words to say, and then he has to ingest it into himself and add to it and pray that Allah uses him as that vessel to get this word across to us. And that's what we know he will do. You can see Brother Ishmael almost every Sunday on our national NOI.org, on our national site. Every Sunday, he's blaring with the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, doing a marvelous job. And if not him, then those assistant ministers that are with him. But this Sunday, October 15th,
that's right.
He's going to bring that word on behalf of Allah, Elijah, and Farrakhan.
That's right.
Brother Ishmael's going to bring it. There ain't no doubt in my mind he's going to bring it. And we want to be together as a family at Muhammad Mosque 7C. Yes, you can sit back and watch it at home, but a family that prays together stays together. It's a different atmosphere when we come together in the mosque. And those who've never been to the mosque, this is a perfect time to come. Because even if you're in the church, we normally meet at the same time the church meet, 11 o'clock. This time the doors open at 2 o'clock.
That's right.
And the meeting will start at 3 o'clock. So you can go to church on Sunday and come to the mosque and hear this message. And brother, you know as well as I know.
Yes, sir.
This is the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March, Holy Day of Atonement.
That's right. Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. So we're celebrating atonement, reconciliation, responsibility. And as you know, the message is atonement and the great war.
Yes.
So you want to know what's about to come out.
Yes.
Now, on the 16th, of course, that following day is the actual date of the anniversary of the Million Man March. We're asking our people, as we did through the minister from 1995 till now, that day, October 16th, should be etched in every Black person's mind and calendar as a holy day. We don't go to school. We don't go to work. We ain't going shopping. All we're doing is spending time with our family, and we're in the midst of atonement and reconciliation. We're trying to right the wrongs of any of us that did wrong to one another. But you want to get the message first. On Sunday the 15th.
That's right.
That'll give you more of the spirit to be like, you know what? I ain't going to work on Monday. If you ain't already took the day off, calling sick. Right there gotta know, and the enemy gotta know that that's our holy day. And that's very, very important for us. And it's going to be also streamed on NOI.org. Anyone that wants to catch it. It's 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, but it's 2:00 Central Standard Time, and you'll see the information on the flyers. But if you can make it over to Muhammad Mosque 7C, we're improving. People, come on out.
Come on out, enjoy.
They're going to be showing it in Atlanta, Georgia, too. Out there with you,
15. At 15, yes, I know.
In Brooklyn, the People's Republic. Come on out. Come on out. Be with the Muslims in Muhammad Mosque 7C.
Where the big clock is,
Come on, bro. Yes.
Oh man, get that a round of applause, family. No matter what religious denomination, whatever spiritual system you want to hear the message from our brother Minister Ishmael, because Ishmael is a very articulate son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
That also right, and one of the sons, a spiritual son of the honorable Minister. Let's get that correct, because it is what it is. And if you want to hear that message, the brother is well studied. And well poised. I always love how him and Rasul, Brother Minister Rasul, used to speak back in the day. They used to just deliver, and then he'll drop some Spanish. He'll give a little Espanol. I know how he used to cover it down. I know he went through his eyesight issues, but even Stevie Wonder wrote great music while he.
Come on, bro.
He could do lectures while he's doing what he's going through. So, but the Day of Atonement, tell us from your perspective, from the time it happened when we all went there in 1995 for that. What has been the feeling over the years? Because now you're a minister now over in Brooklyn, and because we was all foot soldiers and all that, we went through all of that. So how does it feel to you now from your own personal perspective, and then how do you see the men and women of the ranks feeling about this whole transition from the time we went there in 95 to Washington D.C.?
Well, brother, I as from 1995. Even at that time, I was Brother Minister Abdul Hafiz Muhammad's assistant minister. I had been in the post with him for 3 years by the time we had got up to that point. And, may Allah be pleased with our brother. But to take on the proper perception of it all, that was a very exciting moment in 1995. And the climate that we were dealing with and the effect of what it had. My mindset going into it was, if the enemy wants to set it off on that day, I had already took out a life insurance term policy. I don't plan on coming back home.
That's right.
And that's the spirit. And it was because I think of that kind of spirit that was generated by Allah through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that made it to be known that this man, Minister Farrakhan, is the one. He is the one. Allah just showed that this is the one that's from among our people that will help gather our people together. But to take on that spirit of atonement, it was at that point he told us that we shouldn't be calling our women out of their names. We shouldn't be calling each other niggas and so forth. My language changed from that day forward to make sure it was an actual fact that I would not be referring to my people other than themselves, that we would be more pleasant to our people. I was already on that course, but it even got more so. And then to see the effect over 28 years, there's still been times in Brooklyn each year we would do walks with other communities that have been affected by the Million Man March, the churches, Friendship Baptist Church, our brothers over with Pastor Rawley now over there at our church in East New York. The name is slipping my mind. I don't know why right now, but they would do the walks as well. Reverend Johnny Ray Youngblood and
yes,
and his team. And it's been a whole thing that has come about each year where you have different people doing things because of the effect of the Million Man March and the Day of Atonement. But now, here we are 28 years later, Brother Simon.
Yes.
That means a whole generation. Each generation is at least 30 years.
Yes,
all of our brothers and sisters that are 30 years old and younger, they got to get the fire.
Yes, right.
They got to get the spirit.
That's right.
Of the Day of Atonement, the 8 steps of atonement. And atonement is, in my opinion, the proper way to apologize for offending your brother or your sister.
That is the truth. Get that around. Because I understand that, because atonement is in the scriptures, and they talk about atoning in the scriptures with each other. That's why, the stuff that I did in the quote unquote conscious community really drew a lot of people. Even Minister Hafiz used to, may he rest in peace, may Allah be pleased with him. Even of course Sinetta used to come out, and the Sedis and everybody. But I love when the unity of the people came out. But when they start getting into arguments and bickering and debates and all that unnecessary stuff over religion, we don't have to argue about who's Hebrew and who's Jew. And like the minister used to say, the wino don't care about the label, baby.
Right. You don't care about what's on the label. No. You just want to know what's in the bottle.
What's in the bottle? And if you got spiritual powers behind you, and you got spirituality that works within you, that can work with a Hebrew brother or a Moorish brother or this brother, this Christian brother. All we have to do is work together. Put, like Malcolm used to say, put your religion in the closet. Stop playing.
Come on now.
Let's do that. Let's do that. And let's work together. I'm not arguing with Hebrews and Muslim and other Muslims and Ahmadiyas and all the 73
sects. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
I was sitting down with Imam Siraj, and he says, you know how powerful, he told me personally how powerful the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is, because it may set him in the order and the discipline that he's in to even run a mosque and a temple like that. You know what I'm saying? So, please explain to the people why it is so important to atone, not just for brother to brother, but also sister to sister, but also father and mother to child.
Yes.
Why is it so important?
To all it's a cleansing.
Yes, sir.
And when we deal with the atonement, and that's why I said I think is, in my opinion, a proper way to apologize.
Yes, sir.
Prior to the minister even bringing this to our attention, I wasn't thinking about apologies in this kind of way. Most of us, we will say, if we find that we've done somebody wrong in our family, whether it's our wife, our girl, our children, we may apologize in the way that we're used to receiving apologies from growing up, and that was improper. The apology that's given through the 8 steps of atonement is done out of love and a sincere introspection.
Yes, sir.
Giving an example, if I've done you wrong, Brother Simon, and you bring it to my attention, and now I'm reflecting on when that happened, and I understand when it happened and what happened, but you're letting me know how it made you feel, how you took that. I have to humble myself with love and put myself in your shoes to feel what you felt and understand where you're coming from.
Yes, sir.
Even if you may be, in my opinion, perceiving it the wrong way, I can't put a label on what you felt.
Yes.
I got to feel that. And then once I understand what you felt, then I got to admit where I was wrong, confess it, and then apologize to you and ask for your forgiveness. But me admitting that I'm wrong is me identifying with how it made you feel when I didn't realize it made you feel that way. Now that I realize how it felt, how it made you feel, I'm sorry because I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I didn't mean to hurt you like that. Then behind the apology, I'm asking for your forgiveness, but I got to show some contrition. I got to show that I'm really sick sorry about it. I can't be sick sorry about it if I don't give you time to explain how it made you feel.
That's right.
Oftentimes we don't want to hear, I already said I'm sorry. Why you keep going on with it? No, I got to take that time. And then when I take that time and I feel what you felt, now I want to make up for it. Even though you've accepted my apology, I'm going to find a way to bring you a gift, take you to dinner, take you to lunch, come by, get you, and you'll think it's already passed. I'm like, no, I want to let you know, brother, I really feel bad that happened to you, man. You
Right,
know,
right, right,
now
right,
we
right.
can come into some real reconciliation and perfect union. And that's what is needed among us in the Black community. We got too many of our brothers and sisters fighting, can't even go across the street. You got them, brother, in some of the housing facilities on one end, of the back end won't go to the front end.
That's right.
Because they got beef with one another, and most of this done started over some he said, she said.
That's right.
You know, and so atonement is, if not any time before, it's very, very much needed right now in 2023.
And you know, you say that, and it brought me back into a time between you and I. And we was at an event, and I made the mistake and say, they used to treat me like, when I was selling the paper, like we were some type of paper boy and all that kind of stuff. And you came at me, and then I realized that, I shouldn't have said that, because really the newspaper and the final call is a life-giving teachings.
Yes, sir.
And I apologize to you, but I didn't know how you accepted, because you said you don't worry about it, but I'm going to apologize to you again, my brother, because I should not have said that in that forum publicly, saying that when I was selling papers, they treated me like a paper boy, but in actuality, I was in the nation because I understood the mission of who the original man was, to actually teach the world, the 5% to teach the 85%.
Yes, sir.
That was our job.
Yes, sir.
So I apologize to you again, because it did offend you off the stage. And I was on the stage. They let me get on the stage. Sister I think she did that event, and we had a whole thing there. But I want to apologize to you again in the public.
I thank you for that. And let me say this: until you mentioned it, I forgot all about it.
I know you did, but I never forgot. Every time I think about you, every time you come up in my head and I see you doing your thing, I never forgot. And I had to be empathetic. And remember that I was also an active member.
Praises due to Allah.
Spitting on me, fighting in Canada, because I got banned from Canada.
That's right. I remember Canada. Yeah, you was in Canada, brother.
I got banned from Canada. I can't even go to see my family in Canada because of doing the work out there with Dr. Khaled back in the day and all that stuff.
Yes, sir. So, and brother, I thank you for that. And it's beautiful that you're saying that on the air, so the people can see the humility and what this Day of Atonement brings out. But the thought that came to mind as you were saying it is from the scripture where Jesus says, Paul in the scripture says, when I was a child, I thought and understood as a child. And when I became a man, I put away childish things. In our early years, 30 years ago, we were still immature to certain degrees of the teaching, the understanding, and what we were doing. Yeah. We just knew what we knew at that moment.
That's right.
And of course, there was bumps and bruises in the road, because we were all still coming up. That's the beauty about Minister Farrakhan. He was willing, and still is willing, to put young people out front, even though they may not be totally trained up, but to give them a chance and have others over them monitoring them. It doesn't mean that we're not going to go through our bumps and bruises, but when we reflect back on it, we realize what was the main common denominator. And just as you said, that final call is dedicated to the resurrection of the fallen Black man and the fallen Black woman. It's published by the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and founded by the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and published by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. When we were moving that paper, as we still do, we are publishing peace.
That's right, publishing.
So we was publishers of peace in our infancy, And
I took off my glasses. People know I wear these glasses because it blocks out it's a blue blocker, so it blocks out the energy of this. So I need it. I don't wear glasses, so I did that. Sir. But I took it off. I want them to see me in my eyes. Because men look each other in the eye. That's why in the dojo under Dr. Moses Powell and
come on now, eye to eye, yes sir,
heart to heart.
Yeah, heart to heart.
Teach one.
Yes.
And then Soki Little John used to say, "Watch your back." And
that's right.
How we closed out.
And you remember in our FOI class, our first officer, brother MCJX, brother Jason X, had us looking at each other in the eye and saying, "Look at your brother, because that's your brother who got your back out in that field. That's the one you gotta love. He's not a nigga. He's your brother." That put something in us to make us love each other more, brother.
Big up to brother Jason X, my brother. Big up to brother Jason. And I'll big up to Cheryl Powell, Dr. Moses.
Come on now, yes.
Daughter in the building.
Yes. She's a member of Muhammad Mosque 7C, Brooklyn in the house. Come on.
She's a 7C too?
Oh yes, bro.
Okay. Now we talking. I didn't know Sister Michelle was in the building.
Oh, yes, sir.
Much
Yes,
respect to
sir.
all the daughters of the brother Dr. Musa
Yes,
Muhammad,
yes,
the
brother.
late great
Yes,
Musa
sir.
Muhammad, man, the
Yes,
Sanukis
sir.
family, everybody out there. So
Yeah.
again, family, I'm not going to keep the brother long, but he had to come on strong. Just want to remind y'all, come on out to 7C. Let me show the flyer again.
Yes,
And
please.
this is where we're going to be
Beautiful.
at. This is where at 202 Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania
Avenue.
Avenue.
Doors open at 2 p.m.
2
Eastern
p.m.
Standing.
Come
So
on.
stop playing. Come on
Yes,
out. And they
that's right.
broadcast at 3 p.m.
That's right.
Now,
That's
you
right.
could watch it
Yes.
and sit in your bed at
Come on.
NOI.org, but we
Right.
want y'all to come on out
That's
and
right.
enjoy Brooklyn,
Yes.
man.
And don't be saying I can't make it because I got to cook dinner. We'll have dinner there for you. You'll be able to get you a meal. You get your bean pie, everything right there after the meeting.
Everything.
You ain't got to worry about it.
You ain't got. I used to work in the restaurants back in the day.
Come on
so
now.
I
Yes,
already
sir.
know. With brother
Yes,
Leroy, brother Leroy, all of us used to be
Yes,
cooking back
brother.
in the
Bruce
day.
Leroy.
Bruce
Bruce
Leroy.
Leroy.
That's right,
Come
because
on,
he know
brother.
he's a fighter.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he'll
So,
cook and then he'll cook you. You don't act right.
And we knew how to use those blades too, because he
Yes,
trained
sir.
under Soke Little Job, man. Oh my
Yes,
goodness, we was
sir.
under that Soke.
Well,
So,
this is beautiful, brother, and I
beautiful,
thank
man.
Allah
Like,
for
thank
you, man. I
Thank
mean,
you, man.
you know, after being on the road and coming out of the prisons and then making my way
Yes.
here and getting here and getting on this internet and seeing you and being refreshed with this kind of spirit, brother,
Man.
I thank you, beloved.
Thank you.
I
You
thank
know,
you.
and you see it. You heard what he just said out the prison. The legacy of that prison.
Yes.
Minister Nelson Hakeem used to do it.
Yes.
Abdul used to do it.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people used to do
Yes,
that.
sir.
How is the brothers in the, because a lot of them watch us on YouTube also.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's send salute to all the brothers and
Yes,
sisters
man.
in the prison system.
Yes, definitely, man.
We love you.
Prayers and love for all our
love
brothers
you.
and sisters locked down, man, in the
We
belly
love
of the
you.
beast.
We love you. My brother was in there for 16 years. Now he's out. He's high up in the sanitation department, married with grandchildren
Man, beautiful.
now. And
Hey,
he's in
look,
the 5%
man.
nation, and he still
Yes.
studies the lesson. So
Come
big up to
on.
him.
Yes, brother. Yes. On that note, you know,
Yes.
for our family that's out here that may have loved ones in the prisons and you haven't gone to see them, and
Yes.
they may have offended the family when they was out, or you got tired of them getting locked up all the time. But know this,
Please.
that whole prison system is a setup for
Yes,
reestablishing slavery.
Yes, it is.
You know, and just as it was with our ancestors, we weren't there when they were snatching us from plantation and taking our children off to another plantation, the mother to another plantation, the father to another, and you don't know where they're at. That's how they do us in these prisons.
That's right.
You go see your loved one.
Yes, yes.
Write your loved one. You know, you keep that connection, because when they're behind that wall, it's pure hell to the fifth power, brothers and sisters.
Yes.
And so you want to take that in consideration. And if your voice and your word and your visit can do something to give a spark of more hope in that individual, try your best to do what you have to do where that is concerned. I've been in and out of there for the past 20 years.
Man.
And yeah, it's hell for our brothers and sisters.
Man, congratulations, man, for you just doing that, man. That's not an easy task. Believe me, I went to jail for just 3 days, and I couldn't take 3 days. I remember I had to sit down and fast for all 3 days just for fighting for my mother, fighting 7 police officers for my mother. And I protected her, and we was able to. I got out. They didn't press no police officers didn't press no charges. They said, guess what they said? They said he didn't even hit us. He moved us out the way because Dr. Powell taught us to step in the back of the wall and just deal with them. And I just moved them out of the way. I just felt the energy, not to hit them, just move them, just block him, move.
Yes.
I got out safely without them shooting me back in Flatbush, Brooklyn, back in the day at the hospital. So, brother, that's why training for men and women and children are so important. Let them know about the school in New York. Let them know what's happening out there for the school and the MGT, GCC classes and the FOI classes and the study groups out there before we leave. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
So we have Muhammad University of Islam, you know, and this school, we've had it. It's been about 6 years now. And it's from kindergarten to 12th grade. Brothers and sisters, we work it right out of Muhammad Mosque number 7 at 106-8 West 127th Street. You can go to our website, Brooklyn.org. You know, I'm over here messing up.
Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Let me know what it is so I can put it in the chat. You
can go to our org page, which is noibrooklyn.org or NOI Mosque number 7.org, and you can look up MUI in New York City. If you want your children to be taught by Black people. If you don't already have them in a school where they're being taught by Black people and being given knowledge of themselves, knowledge of God, knowledge of the devil, and giving them high science, then come on out to Muhammad Mosque number 7, where we have the MUI at. And we've been working with that. And it takes a sacrifice. But that, along with the classes, we have classes for the women and classes for the men. Yeah, that's our webpage, for Muhammad Mosque 7C. And you can find out about the services that we have there, noibrooklyn.org, you can find out about the service we have there. Now, we have classes for women and classes for men to orientate you into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Islam. Women shop in women, men shop in men. And through the orientation class, that transfers the sisters into the Muslim Girls Training and General Civilization class, which is MGT GCC, the Women of God. And through the orientation class of the men, it transfers us right on over into the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, the military name given to the men that belong to Islam in North America. So our classes are held on Mondays for the brothers, and then we have an online class on Thursdays for the brothers, and we have classes for our sisters every Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. at our mosque in Harlem, Muhammad Mosque number 7. So brothers and sisters, please, if you want, and you got young ones around you, 16 or older, that you want to come into those classes for the nation, bring them on down. You got young ones that you want to get out of the public school system, and you want to bring them to where people love them and will look out for them and give them the good teaching and discipline. Bring them to Muhammad University of Islam. That's right. My children are in there. Many of the believers' children are in there, and we're growing. It's from kindergarten to 12th grade.
That's right. That's right. All praise is due to Allah, man. Man, brother. Woo, man. And let me tell you, today I want to say this. I spoke to Sister Shahrazad Ali. Right. And
really? How's she doing?
I'm in contact with her all the time. She's like a dear friend. And she's always promoting the teachers of the messenger. And I know she has a little problems. It's all right. But one thing that we could all come together is under the messenger's teachers of teaching that mathematics, which is Islam. And she understands that. And although she has her differences with every different people, I told her, it's all right if sisters call you, consult them. And stay with the teachers afterward. If they just stay with the teachers, but don't get into talking about nobody or this. Please just consult them as sister to sister, because out of the nation, she has been one who has used the mathematics and been one of the most successful MGTs from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from her time since she joined the year I was born in 67. And she was joined. So I applaud her. And I spoke to her. She called me today, and I said, "Oh, praise due to Allah." Since I was just thinking about you, I've been watching your interviews, and I said, "Oh, sis, you don't even have to go there." And I said, "I love her, I respect her." So, and she's one of the elders, so you can't really argue with some of the elders because they was right there. They was right there. I don't argue with Melchizedek. He was there. All of them was there. I don't argue with them. I just said, all right, this is another time. People are in another influence. Let's just respect from the basic principles of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Let's go right back to that, and everybody can unify right there.
Supreme wisdom,
baby.
And it's just a wake-up message. There's more to come. Come on, man.
Man, I love and respect you, brother.
Same here, brother.
All the time. And let me show that flyer one more time. We going to 7C this weekend, family.
Come on now.
7C. You know what it is. We going to 7C.
There you go. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
202 equals 4. That is the foundation.
Come on now. Come on now.
Baby, lay the foundation.
Yes.
And going over there to Pennsylvania Avenue, the land of brotherly love street.
Come on now. And family, for those who don't know, it's free admission. We ain't charging you nothing to come and be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself. And security is on deck. Ain't nothing coming up in there that don't belong up in there. This is the place where people act right or they get some act right.
That's right.
We look forward to seeing our family. Come on, brother.
Man, listen, when I come back to town, I gotta call you. And
man, please do, beloved. Please do, brother.
We gotta sit down and go have some coffee or some tea or something. Go break some bread in Brooklyn. So I visit my mother in Brooklyn when I come.
Yes, sir.
She's 84 now, so I gotta go and check up on her, man. All praise to Allah. She's still growing her own food in the backyard.
That's that. See.
You know what I'm saying? She ain't
That's wisdom. That's wisdom. Yes.
Man, I love you, man. And send greetings to the family, your wife, everybody, the children, man. Send the love, man.
All right? Same here. Same here.
Beloved. That's my brother. That's my brother. Come on, remember, this is where we gonna be at. Come
Yes,
on
sir.
now. All right. All right. Take care, minister.
You as well, beloved. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. That's our dear brother. Woo! See, I understand the basics of unity, man. And when you come to my lectures back in the day, if whether you was at the National Black Theater, whether you came to the Enlightenment Center over there in Brooklyn, where the old Clara Muhammad School used to be on Putnam and Bedford, or whether you see, because I had Dick Gregory there, I had Paul Mooney. So I used to bring out with my promotional team, I used to bring out Muslims, Moors, Christians, Hebrews, all types of people that can sit down and break bread together. So all of the arguments is not necessary if you know how to bring them all together. Because if a beast came in there and attacked all of us at one of those lectures, we was going to get down with the get down right inside there. And Khalid was one of those people, and Minister Farrakhan is definitely one of those people that usually set people straight, because a lot of people don't really realize that because the minister is such a spiritual person, that a lot of things, he hold back a lot of things. When they, the men is out there, the men and women that are training are out there. But we got to respect what they're doing. We got to respect the peace and the level of peace that the minister have kept, because back in the 60s and the 70s, if you messed around, whether you were white, black, doggy, cat, whatever you was, they trained us how to fight attack dogs back in the day. They trained us on defending ourselves. Remember, you got to remember those things. So, I heard some guys on the podcast say, oh, the nation only mess with black people and only beat up on black. That is not the truth. And the proof of this is that when the Italianos came to Muhammad Ali and threatened to break his knees if he do not submit to the most honorable to their statutes, he came to the messenger. He came to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and said, most honorable Elijah Muhammad, they came to threaten my knee. They said they're going to break my knees. And you know what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told Muhammad Ali? He said, you tell them that they got knees too. Simple as that. And all of that stopped. No more disrespect. Italian was not stepping on the black Muslims back in those days. They was not going to do that, because Yusuf Shah and all of them was not any joke. And they was training under Dr. Moses Powell. They was training under Walter 5X, aka Ramza. They was training under different men and women, definitely different men that was training the men that was not playing. Y'all don't even know about the Harlem Six. I'm not talking about Mayor Dinkins and the rest of those guys, that Harlem Six and Owen and all those guys. I'm talking about the Muslims that were in prison that beat up all of the correction officers. All they did was say Allahu Akbar, put their back up against each other, and white men was being thrown everywhere with their sticks and everything. Oh, I know the history because I talked to my elders. So y'all got to know that the hand of peace is right over there. So y'all make sure y'all go and support this Day of Atonement. This Day of Atonement, and it's been since 1995 until now. And Minister Ishmael, brother student Minister Ishmael Muhammad, is going to be speaking. He's going to be delivering the message. We don't know if the minister's going to pop in, but if he moves with the spirit and decide to come in, believe me, he'll be coming on in. But we know Brother Minister Ishmael is going to be watched, and everybody's watching. Even the minister is going to listen to him. So we want to make sure we support it. If you can't go to Brooklyn, if you can't go to whatever temple or mosque in your area, whether it's Atlanta or anywhere in the world or in England, because I know they watch it, then you can watch it on noi.org. That's noi.org. You can watch it live at www.noi.org and support. So it is what it is, family. Once again, want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in and locking in. I had a good time. I had a good time with somebody I know since 1989 when I joined the temple, when I joined Muhammad's Mosque, temple number 7. So I had a good time seeing my brother. Him and I were in the ministry class. I still got my ministry manual right here behind me. Still got the lessons. I still use it and scan through it every now and then to remind me to always at least strive to be my best, to always take charge of my pulse and all temple property in view. And the temple property of you is my body, not just my house, not just the outside temple, but my temple is my body. So we always, each and every one of us should understand the general orders of taking charge of their posts and all temple property in view. Don't make any mistakes. The original temple of the Almighty and the all within all is the body. That's the original temple. The original heartbeat, the original drum beat is the heartbeat. The original organs, the musical organs is the organs in our body. Understand that. And if you know how to play those organs and you know how to give the right sound to those organs, oh, it makes some beautiful music, family. It makes some beautiful music. So once again, I want to thank our brother, student minister, Henry Muhammad, Brooklyn, New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Y'all seen us, I apologize to him right here on the air because I don't have no big ego like that. I don't have no big negative ego like that. It's all about, you know, rectifying with your brothers and your sisters. I even do text apologies, old girlfriends and my ex-wives, my children's mother. I do those type of things just in case, you know, to let them know that I'm thinking about them. Sometimes even a text, because this is modern day and time and we got to step it up to the modern day and time. Sometimes you got to just text them and say, you know what, I'm thinking about you. I may the creative keep on keeping you and keeping you strong. Thank you. You know, thank you for being who you are and who you was to me in the past. Sometimes you got to do that. And I want everybody during this Day of Atonement weekend to apologize. Apologize to one of your ex-girlfriends or one of your ex-boyfriend or your ex-husband or your children, whatever it is. I'm going to send my children each an individual text. I'll try to call them first, but I will call them during this week just to apologize, to let them know, you know, hey, you know, we shouldn't live this way. We should always be paying attention to each other. And because if they did call me and they needed something, regardless if they talking to me now or don't talk to me, because even as me, I as a child went through not talking to my father. A lot of people don't know at 15, I tried to take my father's life because I was hearing one side of the story. I was hearing only my mother's side. Oh, you're just like your father. Why you acting like your father? Boy, your father was all of that from your mother's side of the family and not getting his side of the family. Information is not good. So it made me one-sided and I almost took my friend's gun. And I'm saying this live again. I've said it before. I almost took my friend's gun and killed my father. I went towards Flatbush to walk towards his house because I was told where he lived. And what happened? I walked the wrong way. My spirit had me because I wasn't very good at directions when I was 15. So I walked the wrong way and walked myself until I was tired. I did not see the address. Matter of fact, I started walking towards King's Plaza and I said, this ain't where my father lives. So I just walked and gave my friend the gun back because I was following friends. I gave my friend that gun. It was a German Luger 15 shooter. I was 15 years of age. The number 1 and 5 is 6, and 6 is one of my challenge numbers. My father is born under the sign of Libra, which is connected to the number 6. I almost went and took my own father's life because of hearing only one side of the story about him and not realizing that he has a side. And his side, it don't make it better or worse, but you got to understand the trauma that we all go through. Even as men, we got to understand what they went through as children with their own father, with their own mother. So if you don't understand, then you can't just judge somebody else for how they walk or how they treated you. And I want my children to understand that they can't judge me for how I went through or what I went through in my own life, because my life was my life and their life is their life. My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum. Everybody, I'm striving and thriving to shine, to be better every day. Do I go through ups and downs? Of course, we all go through ups and downs. But what you got to learn to do is turn those frowns into smiles. Turn those frowns into smiles, because a frown is just a smile upside down. And that's all. You know what I'm saying? That's all I tell people. So, all right. So, family, I love and respect each and every one of you. Again, want to thank our brother minister, student minister Henry Muhammad for coming through. the Brooklyn representative, Brooklyn, New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I go back with him, and if you can make it out to Brooklyn, Brooklyn Zoo, we ain't gonna be no zoo. We're gonna be on their higher level for you at the 202 Pennsylvania Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, Temple and Mosque 7C. So make sure you're going out there. And if you can't make it out there, I understand. You can also watch it live as Brother Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad drops the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding about the atonement and the Great War. Because the war is not just what they're cooking up outside there in Russia and Europe. The war is also the war within yourself. It's a spiritual war as well as a physical war. Once you understand that, then if we calm down the spiritual war, we can calm down that physical war anywhere in the world. All right. So family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe whatever time you're watching this. Thank y'all very much for tuning in and keeping it locked. I love you. This has been a special broadcast right here on KSP TV. That's King Simon Presents. Only quality people. And remember, family, like what's coming up next, I want to remind each and every one of you that, of course, every Wednesday, myself and this beautiful sister do a show, and that show is called Healing Vibe. Her name is Carrie Ann Ingram. This coming Sunday, we have the one, the only Dr. B Serious coming in. And then that morning, that afternoon, I have Dr. B Serious. And then late that night, I have Kaba Hayawata Kamene, author, educator, historian, much more. And then we're going to have special guest Sister Kafunya that's going to be with him because they're doing a big event in Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's where that event is going to be on the 21st. But on the 18th, we have the Queen, Esther, coming in, Healing Powers and Rhythm and Movement. Healing Powers of Rhythm and Movement. Queen Esther will be in the building. Remember, make sure you show her some love also. And then on the 22nd, we have the one, the only Melanin B that's coming in. Lafista, Laugh Yoga, entrepreneur, comedian, all of that. And she is holistically hilarious. She's coming in. And then on the 25th, we have the one, the only Selena Cordoba of CordobaOrganics.com coming in. Healing with Natural Products is going to be in the building with myself and Carrie Ann Ingram. On the 28th, I got a class coming up. If you want to learn applied numeration, all you have to do is register through Linktree/King Simon, the Numerator. Learn how to guide yourself. Learn how to guide yourself with the numbers. And then on the 29th, we got Baba Phil Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine coming in. Being a man and woman is an experience, not a job description. So get ready for that. And please support our sponsors. These are our sponsors that we want to support. Carrie Ann Ingram, of course, CarrieAnnIngram.com or Linktree/Carrie Ann Ingram. I had to do a house cleaning for the month of October, so we got new people, and sometimes we had to move, but we're shuffling things around. Just want to let people know I'll always be bringing back a lot of old sponsors back, but Carrie Ann is one of our sponsors because she's one of the team members. Of course, Lloyd Strayhorn, I'm sponsoring him. He sponsors me. Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. You know, Minister Farrakhan and him had a very good conversation on WBLS back in the day, and Minister Farrakhan told him that he was doing the highest form of supreme mathematics. That's what Louis Farrakhan told our brother Lloyd Strayhorn back at WBLS back in the day. And if you're in Brooklyn or if you're in Manhattan, check out Nicholas Brooklyn. Remember, get him a call at 718-858-4400. 10% off on all retail purchases. And remember, Baba Ashra Kwesi, support Baba Ashra Kwesi. If you want to take a historical trip with him and his wife, make sure you give him a call at 214-371-0206. Tell him King Simon sent you so I can get that credit. And remember, if you want to get any of my books, if you want to take any of my classes, all you have to do is this. All you have to do is go to Linktree/King Simon, the Numerator. And if you want to book a session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And like Dr. B. Serious says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection. And I am thankful for my life. Thank you, Dr. B. He'll be on with us this Sunday. And closing out with Dr. Delbert Blair, the one, the only Dr. Delbert Blair. He always used to say, please, universal creator, Know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. If you want to support Dr. Blair, please go to his website. This is his website. That's www.themetacenter2.com. That's www.themetacenter2.com. Tell Brother Tony that I sent you, and he will definitely accommodate you. Dr. Blair has some books, so if you want to support Dr. Blair's book, please go out there and support. And in closing, I always like to close with these three people. I might add some more people after, but these three people, I love to close. Marcus Mosiah Garvey used to say, "Up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will, one love, one aim, one destiny." Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad used to say, "Regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God. And that name is the all within all, whom they call Allah." And Dr. Ben called Alat, bringing in the feminine and the masculine, understanding that. All right. And last but not least, Maya Angelou, "And still we rise." Family, continue to rise to the top, because the top is where we're supposed to go. Don't be no crabs in the bucket. If you're going to be a crab, then you're going to pass crabs on to other crabs. We ain't got no time for the crabbing and the trolling, family. So stay focused, stay positive, stay productive, and remember, be the solution, because you are the solution to every problem you ever had. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace out. I love you. This has been your host, King Simon, for King Simon Presents Only Quality People, not only on YouTube at King Simon Presents, but also at the Numeration Nation, and also on Facebook and on Twitter. Take care.
Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numeration. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numeration consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerator. That's King Simon the Numerator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numeration for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. The or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the classes.